Move your body close to the maker of music. Let it float you along the valleys of paradise. Explore and frown and maybe you'll see.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Derek here. Psychedelic was the last video where I was tripping balls off the walls, man. Did a little video tour just to kind of bring myself back to life, being reincarnated with coming back on the social medias. Yeah, as you can tell, I've kind of decorated the place up a little bit. Got a new shelf here that I built, and I'll dive into that a little more as we go on. But yeah. How are y'all doing? Yeah, just decided to take a break, and I kind of came back a little prematurely. I thought maybe I was going to take the rest of the year off, but I just happened to log in back into my main Instagram account, and apparently several messages from people I don't know and people I, of course, do know had messaged me like 4 or 5 months back saying, where you been, I thought I made it pretty clear, 3 videos back where I said I'm going to take a little break, but apparently it slipped under the rug and people missed the memo maybe, but I said I wasn't going to make a big deal out of it, but, and I was honestly reading all those messages and just seeing people's responses ever since I've been back has been pretty awesome. I guess I didn't realize how much of a impact I've made as far as like just sharing these records with you guys. I'm just a simple casual listener, and I love sharing and critiquing in a positive light for the most part all these records. So I guess that's partially why I slipped away, but I've taken breaks the past 3 years on social media, but I haven't done like all 3 at the same time. So I guess it does make sense that I was I kind of just disappeared, it would seem. But no, life's been really good though. Doing different things routinely and kind of mixing up my life a little bit. Not so much, I haven't been listening to records as much, but of course I still, cherish this hobby and carry it along with me wherever I go. But I've been making a lot of trips to the local record shops, and he's been treating me well with a couple great biggies. These 2 I'm actually going to share today are from the local Lincoln shop. So yeah, I don't know what else to say, but I am back a little sooner than I thought, like I said, yeah, did a couple trips lately as well. Trips as in, traveling, traveling places. Went to Kansas, went to South Dakota, and I'm still thinking of like maybe one more big excursion before the year's up. But yeah, kind of sticking close to home, doing a lot of reading as well, working out more, go on nature walks, and just get a lot of outdoor activity done. And bowling season's over. If you guys didn't know, I was on a bowling league, and pretty soon, I'm not going to make any announcement right now, but I will say there's a local bar in town. I've been trying to search different bars to do this little project I have in mind. I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but maybe you guys can already follow up to where I'm coming with this. I got to get in contact with a few other people here, but I think I'm going to make something really cool happen. And if it does happen, I will let you guys know. So I don't want to jinx it for myself. So yeah, record show, did that. Didn't find a whole lot there, but I will get to those records in the future. So you can see this cube here. This is actually all the stuff I need to share yet. I've been thinking about doing maybe a live stream. That way it could be like a 2 to 3 hour video and I could just pretty much show them all. But if you guys want me to do kind of this format where I kind of go a little deeper into, you know, the analytics or whatever you want to call them of these records, then I'm all for it too. But It just might take a little longer to push these videos out. At least I'll always have something to share, right? But yeah, this shelf behind me though, it's a 16 cube storage shelf. Built it myself. I mean, I ordered the parts online, but I had to build it on my own, and I'm not much for a handyman or crafty sort of person myself, so thankfully, I caught on pretty quickly and got it done all in one night, except for one side, which took a little bit to get the sides even. It was not fun, trying to figure out the measurements and like get them precise, because you want these things to last a long time, and work pretty steadily with all this weight on it, Yeah, so I got it alphabetically, A through Z, A, B, C, left to right, and it's just much better than what I had before. I still got my old shelves. I got one right here on that side, and then one over here in this corner. So I still kind of making use of these shelves with clutter, records I'm selling and stuff like that. Even got one in my kitchen where I'm using it as like stuff for my lunch pail and my toaster. Just little oddball things like that. So, well, let's move on to the vinyl records here. I'll probably put a timestamp in case anyone wanted to hear that garbage, but it's just I have to catch up sometime, with everything going on. But yeah, let's start off with the Grails. So Dragonfly, 1968. Got this one in the local shop. If you guys remember, I posted about this in the community tab just before I kind of signed off on YouTube, and this is a pretty clean copy. It's probably a VG sleeve, but the record, man, pristine. Like no issues at all. Really cleaned up nicely. It's always interesting kind of cover art, isn't it? With the it's like an electric pole, kind of what do they call it? Like a suspension cable. It's kind of interesting. Anyways, yeah, it's on the Megaphone label, very small label. They're actually known as the Legend when I think the artist or the company must have just labeled them as Dragonfly. I forget the whole backstory, but yeah, this guy is. This is just a classic, stone cold classic, heavy psych, hard rock LP. Blue Monday. I mean, that was like one of the very first tracks I heard from this band, and vocalist at times, I think they share like two different vocalists. There's one really gruff singer, but then the other one sounds like a really like hazy sounding Kurt Cobain in some spots. I used to have the reissue, and I had the bonus. I still have the bonus 45 of when they were known as the Legend, and they did a version of Enjoy Yourself. Still have that one, but yeah, I got a considerable deal on this one. I had to definitely trade in some stuff for this, so very, very fortunate to own this one. So apparently some collector he was originally from Colorado, and he moved here to Nebraska, I think south of Lincoln, and he just brought his collection in, and it was a nice collection, and I bought more than just that from this collection that dropped in. But anyways, I'll share the other one real quick before the other really hot item that I shared on Instagram today. I'll probably post this tomorrow morning, but this is I think this is from the same collection, possibly. It's Dragonfly, upgraded on my copy of the Stooges, since this is the debut album. What else needs to be said about this band, Still missing out on an original copy of Funhouse, which would be nice, Got a reissue of that, but this is I don't know if it's like the very first press, because I think the very first press is without their name on the red label. This is a red label copy. Take it out of the sleeve here so you can see it. Also very clean. It kind of pops, doesn't it? That red label. Life-changing band for me. just as much as Pink Floyd was. Um, you know, we all had our teenage angst phase, and I mean, at least I certainly did. Kind of went through a garage rock punk phase, and this band just like, I had never heard anything like it. It was so raw, it was so in your face for its time, and just really appreciate everything and all that this band was. And I think the debut is still my favorite by them. You know, even though Funhouse is like super essential as well, and Raw Power is, I mean, how can you argue with that influence, you know? So I picked this up. So this was at a local shop here in town, the one that most recently opened, First Day Vinyl. Kind of looking at their book section, and I was just glancing through this book and reading through it, looking at the photographs. I was like, this needs to come home with me. So I picked up on this. This is Total Chaos, the story of the Stooges as told by Iggy Pop. And I pretty much finished it. I mean, I'm just at the tail end where it's like people are given their just how the influence of the Stooges has been in their lives. Like Jack White's in here talking about them and stuff at the very end. But yeah, the whole interview, I think it's Jeff Gold. Yeah, this is like an updated, revised version. So asking him questions about the group, you know, kind of more of a discussion. And Iggy, I mean, for his age in this book, I mean, he's got very precise, very accurate details of like recollecting these old days with the band. But try to get some photos in here if I can. You know, they go all the way back to talking about the formation, talking about the iguanas. I want to get some cool photo in here. So of course we know that photo. It's like from their first Halloween gig, and you know, them out on their rural farmhouse they had, and just dives deep into everything, man. The concerts they played, the gigs they've had, you know, people they've played with at the Grande Ballroom. You know, a lot of the stuff I kind of knew, but I mean, it kind of goes even deeper into it. If you guys have seen that Jim Jarmusch documentary, I mean, this takes it a step further, I feel like, with some of the descriptions and just like even more about the personalities, you know, talking about the brothers, you know, the Ashton brothers and Dave Alexander, and even James Williamson, who really always had a lot of tension with Iggy. And you know, with Iggy's antics and stuff, you know, people at the time really misinterpreted a lot of what he was all about. I feel like, you know, he's just a very, you know, when you say Iggy's a smart dude, I mean, people might laugh at you, but he kind of knew what he was up to. I mean, despite all of the heavy amounts of drug use and, you know, some controversial things they've certainly done, but I mean, they even have like newspaper clippings here, and it's an amazing read. I guess at one point Ron Ashton was offered a pretty good sum of cash for wanting to join SRC. Scott Richardson Case approached him and offered a big sum, but he turned him down. Just imagine what that would sound like, you know. But yeah, pretty wide, definitive book here, as Mr. Anthony Bourdain makes his little statement on here as well. I think this originally came out in 2016, I think, but this is like a revised version, so I won't go all into it, but it's, yeah, basically all about the Stooges, nothing about Iggy's solo career or anything. Strictly Stooges material. So if you guys are diehard fans like I am, you know, I've kind of slipped out of listening to them, you know, because I know their music so much. But just to own this and own the upgraded copy, they mean a lot to me. And so this is a really great reflection, you know, discussions about, you know, contract issues they've had and stuff with Bowie, meeting up with all sorts of different people, and crazy stories. I can't think of them all at the moment, but as I'm trying to get this video pushed along. But yeah, great read. Check it out. So with this final one I'll share here, this is one that I picked up a few weeks back in May. Took a little vacation to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and came out with a few things. Some I flipped, stuff I found at a garage sale, and found a cool Paul Revere and the Raiders book, which I don't think is near me at the moment, but I'll show that another time. I don't know how rare it is or anything, but I wanted to show this one. So I went to one of my favorite antique places when I was there last time. I think it's 605 Antiques. And they had a flea market that weekend too. Didn't come out with any records, but they had a few there. But this one I actually missed the first time when I was looking in the glass case. And someone pointed out to me in there, and I was like, wow, I'll never see one of these again. So kind of thought about it for a minute, because it was a good amount of money, but at the same time pushes for a lot more, or at least according to PopPsych and Discogs. From what I can tell, this is quite a collectible. So this is a demonstration copy for a Pink Floyd single. It Would Be So Nice. The single that everybody knows, right? This is a non-LP. I think this is right after Sid left. It's got pressed in April of '68. This is a one-sided 45 demo disc. The other side is like a to test the broadcasting station. It's just a droning kind of like one-tone noise. But super mint shape. I think this thing has been transferred to like only 2 other places probably. I mean, it's that clean. And then it also has this little note here telling to the DJ that it's a shortened and edited version for broadcasting purposes. Quite the item, isn't it? So I have played this once. This is kind of one of those rare moments where I probably won't be playing this every day, but damn, just couldn't leave it behind. Paid a little over $200 for this, and if you see the prices for this going up online, I think I got a good deal on this. If I ever need to flip it though, the opportunity is kind of always there. So, you know, the fact that it's in the original company sleeve, the whole package, this one's definitely going to be kind of a cherished item here. And I do like this song as well. Apparently at the time it just flopped heavily because I think people were looking for another Syd Barrett composition, and they were trying to work without him and trying to figure out, you know, how can we write a good pop song. And it's kind of on the light side, but it still obviously has that Pink Floyd nourishment. It has that kind of magic to it that, you know, other songs at the time that they did, like Julia Dream and Point Me at the Sky, songs like that. So it's still very much in that realm. It's just not heavily talked about amongst Floyd fans, I feel. But it's got a cool promo video for it, and I think the band themselves, they didn't really like a lot of their material around that time up until, like, you know, metal, and then they started liking their stuff, it feels like. Yeah, that about wraps it up for this one. So thanks again for wasting time here in the psychedelic pad. Yeah, a lot of good things coming down in the future as far as sharing what I've picked up since then, and I'm probably missing a few things to mention or address, but that's always the case, it seems like. Kind of when I do these things on the spot, try to do it in one take, it's kind of like I always forget something, but yeah, things have been going very well here. We shall continue. The show must go on, as they say. I'm very happy for my shelf back here. I mean, it's nothing grandiose or anything. It's just kind of what it is. Trying to decorate a little bit. You know, I got that kaleidoscope there from same place I got the Pink Floyd record. Again, thanks so much for reaching out to me. It's very appreciative. I know how it can be when you know, some of your favorite people take a little break, maybe longer than expected, but you know, it's all on good terms, and I did it out of out of my own decision. Just kind of need a break once in a while from all the noisy traffic that seems to kind of sweep through the good old interwebs. Let me know what you guys think of my finds, and let me know if you want to maybe set up a live stream before I can share all these records, or if you want me to just kind of do it naturally, like I am here. So, till then, see you on the flip side, and we'll see you soon.